All right, here's a pull day for you guys. Started with these straight arm pull downs. Here I'm using it's called a tsunami bar, which is kind of cool because it flexes a little bit. That's the purpose of the bar, to kind of flex. So you can almost intentionally try to bend this bar, and it really, really fires the lats well. When you think about keeping a constant bend on the bar, you can see it flexing there. I think I have another camera angle where you guys will be able to see it a little bit better. So you can see it flexing there. Just did a couple straight sets here. The last one I might do a rest pause or something. I might have just done all straight sets today. I don't recall now. These felt really good. I was trying to keep the chest nice and tall this week. And really just thinking about dragging that bar, like I'm dragging it across, wet cement or something along those lines. Here's a good angle where you can see that bar flex. And at that bottom, I'm trying to almost bend the bar like around me, like I'm putting a belt on or a seatbelt on, and trying to bend the bar like I'm bending it over my legs almost, if that makes sense. Like you're going to break a tree branch like a kid, you'd break it over your leg. So I'm thinking about bending that tsunami bar like around my waist and really firing those low lats hard until they almost cramp. So this is how we started the day. We move on to some single arm lat pull downs. I do have some rotation in there. And at the top, I'm trying to let the scapula kind of unscrew and really open up and get some full range, full lengthening out of that lat. I just do 2 straight sets here, pretty much back to back. Everything today was just pretty much back to back. I'm 11 weeks out now, something like that. So energy's a little lower in the gym. So I'm just trying to not allow myself to rest a ton and just get through it, just keep moving. Because if I do keep moving, I find that I can get more done in less amount of time. So you can see me hop right back into that other arm and just get after it right away. These feel good. In the bottom, I'm actively almost trying to crunch in towards that side and really shorten that lat all the way. Almost drop down the shoulder a little bit and crunch into it like an oblique crunch, and really just shorten that thing as much as I can. You'll be able to see it on this side here, kind of how I'm leaning into it and really crunching down. These felt good. I got a good pump from this. This movement's pretty good for shoulder health, allowing to develop some range and motion in that scapula and really get things moving and gliding the way that they should. So I finish up this last set here, and then we're going to move on. We're going to move on to, I believe, some type of row next, maybe a Meadows row. I've been really liking the Meadows rows lately, so we're going to hop into those after I finish this last one. But, yeah, you can see that kind of crunching into that side and shortening that lat is my intention here. And then I'm trying to control the weight back down instead of just letting the weight fall. Here's some Meadows rows on the jammer arms with some chains. I kept these a bit higher rep and just really got a huge pump. In the bottom, I'm trying to open up that scapula and let it kind of wrap around my rib cage. And then at the top, I'm almost trying to turn away from it and really shorten that lat at the top. So actively at the top, I'm trying to almost rotate my body to shorten that lat there. So these, same thing, I'm just going to hit them back to back. I think I did 15, 12, 10 for reps, something like that. But overall, very, very good movement here. This day is becoming probably one of my favorite days of training. All the movements I enjoy, they all feel like they line up with my body pretty well. Overall, it's all effective work. So get right back into these. The Meadows rows have become one of my favorite over the years. Lots of different ways to do them. This is my own variation. It's just easy to set up in the gym, but you can do them with a, T-bar row, landmine, whatever. Here we move into just some seated low rows with those Spud Inc. Comfort Grip handles. Those are like tsunami handles, so they are flexing in my hand, which again helps with the contraction in the back. So when the handle flexes, it feels really good for the back movements for me. It helps me connect. So these felt good. I'm thinking about pulling my chest apart in the back here and really just trying to pinch everything back there as hard as I can. I think I only did 2 sets here with some partials on the last set. So yeah, you can see me get right back into these. A little supination on the hand. That seemed to feel better today. Open up some space in the shoulder for me so I could get a little more range of motion in the back and shorten up those muscles. So here I'm just resting. I didn't feel like getting off the ground. Felt like too much work. Didn't want to reset the camera. So next few weeks you're going to see me doing a lot of this. So I'm just focusing on breathing, focusing on the next set, getting mentally prepared to get after it. So yeah, you're going to see me doing that. It's just, I don't want to waste the energy getting off the ground. I know that sounds silly, but I'd rather just lie there and just wait for my next set, if I'm being honest. So here we go, getting after it. This set, I think I end with like some partials, like some calso shrugs almost, which really blow up the upper back. Yeah, here we go. So I'm just cranking on these. These really blow up the rear delt too. So everything, just pumping a bunch of blood in there. Then we move to the Chris Edmonds rows, foot forward dumbbell rows. Trying to let the scapula wrap around the rib cage again, kind of bringing the dumbbell through my center line, almost over my center line, so I can really get the length out of that lat in the bottom and allow everything to open up. And then at the top, I'm trying to shorten it as much as I can and trying to get it to cramp, really. So, yeah, definitely, this is probably my favorite back movement lately, in general, out of everything. This Chris Edmonds row is probably my favorite. Here's, like, my finishing movement. Normally, I'll do, like, the John Meadows stretchers or, like, a Chuck Vogopol row. These are the same exact thing, same concept, kind of a rowy, straight arm pull down type thing. I did them single arm today, and I'm glad I did because it lined up really nice with my shoulders. I got a really good stretch out of it. Everything felt very natural, and the movement just worked for me. And that's a huge thing when you guys are going to pick exercises and things like that. Just find ones that line up with your body and that you don't have to force yourself into. Like, everything I do lately just feels natural, like the way my body fits in the machine and things like that. It's all very important. Even here, you can see how I keep the pulleys a little bit higher off the ground because it just lines up with my arm positioning better, the way my body's shaped, and it makes the dumbbells feel, or the cables feel a lot more natural with the curls. Here we just finish off with some hammer curls. Nothing crazy, just finishing off the pump, driving some extra blood flow in there. So overall, a good workout, really good. My back training has been probably some of my best progress the last few months. So join the Chase Irons Forum, chaseironsforum.com, TommyJohnCoaching.com for coaching inquiries. You can find me on Instagram, Tommy John Coaching on Instagram, and all the good stuff. You guys can like this, share it, subscribe, All those things for me. Appreciate you.